As I've talked about on this channel before, I am going into the Pokemon TCG. I'm not probably going to go for like regionals and a bunch of crazy stuff all the time because that is a lot to do at the beginning, but I have been entering a lot of locals and I did two, I don't know if they're called like sanctioned events. I went to a cup and a challenge within the span of 3 days and I wanted to talk about my experience at them. Of course, I used to do tournament wrap-ups for Smash all the time and I wanted to do a tournament wrap-up here. I already did one from a local a couple of weeks ago, but this one is a little bit more serious because there's championship points on the. I wanted to do well and I recorded stuff. So I went to the League Cup at Game Time Cards here in Orlando, Florida, and it was a 5-round cup with a top 4 cut, but I will talk about that a little bit later because of some shenanigans that happened, or that I guess people expected because I'm still new, I don't really know what's going on. And yo, the fit check though, I was looking snazzy. I forgot to interview people post-game, so you're going to have to go off of my recollection for these, but round 1 I played against a Dragapult player, and I don't like the Dragapult matchup with Miraidon. This tournament I actually teched in an Iron Thorns and a Future Booster Energy Capsule, whatever it's called, because I really don't like the Charizard matchup, and I ran into a lot of Charizard in my other locals, so I was like, okay, I want to beat this matchup. Unfortunately, I started Iron Thorns, it was my only Pokemon, and Dragapult didn't really stop much. It stopped the Rotom turn 1, and then they just got ahead super far, and also again I don't really like the Dragapult matchup in general because I don't really have any ways to heal, at least in this current or that current build of the deck, so I kind of just like lost cleanly. I think I ended up losing with 4 prize cards left, which as a Miraidon player is pretty bad. You want to at least be losing with 2 because that it means that they at least came back or you got some pressure with Iron Hands, but I didn't really get to do anything. I then played against a Regidrago V-Star deck, which I like that matchup. I feel like it is only really scary if your opponent gets Dragapult really early, but there's plenty of ways for Miraidon to kind of snipe either the Regidragos or the Ogerpons if they have multiple energies on them to make it a little bit more difficult to do anything, and that's exactly what I did. I actually messed up at the beginning of this game. I took my 2 extra cards from my mulligan before putting out my prize cards, which is not correct. You're supposed to draw 7. If you have the basic, then put your prizes, then get your extra mulligan cards. My opponent mulliganed twice. I took the 2 cards, saw them, and then went, oh, I forgot to do prize cards. And because this was, you know, a sanctioned thing and it wasn't a local, the judge was like, well, the ruling here is your opponent only has to take 4 prize cards. So I was immediately down 4 prize cards to 6, but they didn't get a single knockout in the entire game. I was just very ahead. They didn't really see the best cards, but also they still Iono'd and Professor's Research, and they just weren't able to get the V-Star the entire game. They just didn't see it. They didn't see the Ultra Balls. So I don't really quite know. I mean, I was able to knock out a Regidrago V and an Ogerpon, so it was just really rough for them to get anything started. Again, I personally like that matchup, but I don't even think they got the Dragapult or the Goodra, which would have been a little bit difficult to deal with, in their discard pile. So 1-1 getting on, and then the next 2 things happened were very lucky for me. So first off, I was running Iron Thorns, and you know, this would be good for these 2 matchups. Next up, I played against Charizard because I don't like the Charizard matchup. And you want to see how the game went? Well, basically, their first turn was this, which is start Charmander and pass. The game is doing other things because again, my game is running Lugia. I don't know how the testing feature works, but yeah, they went first and they said I will use Charmander and pass, and then I was able to just kill them turn 1. They just got donked with like Raikou generators and whatever, so it was like a 2-minute game. Like literally, they said draw card, attach fire energy, pass. Like it was literally, this was their turn. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, win. So I went up 2-1. And something similar happened my round 4. It is a Goldengo player that I've played a couple times at locals, and they went first because I think I won the die roll, or I don't remember if I won or they won the die roll, but they decided to go first, or I decided that they went first because I want to go second generally. They started Iron Bundle, which is already not a good start for that deck, and they went pass. And then unfortunately I wasn't actually able to get a kill. I didn't have the greatest hand, so I was like, oh no, they're gonna end up like drawing their Buddy Puffin or an Arvin or something that they totally have in hand and can't just use turn 1, and then they didn't. So they just passed again, and then I was able to get the kill because I was able to like retreat my Pokemon or get a Latias or something like that. So I went up 3-1. This is also part of the reason why I didn't film, at least once I've noticed. Like I noticed round 1, I was like, oh, I forgot. And then I kind of felt bad that 2 of my opponents just super bricked, so I didn't want to film. And then at this point, this is kind of like where the silly stuff happens. So a lot of people had entered the tournament after round 1. They got there like 5 minutes late. So there was about 10 or so people that entered post the tournament standings closing. And the way that the Pokemon Company works, I guess, or in terms of this stuff, is they do it based on the original amount of entrants, not the people that end up that end up entering after the tournament starts, which makes some sense, right? Like, I'm not against it. But so the tournament ended up being about like 30 to 32 people, but then a couple of people dropped, but again, like 10 people entered afterwards, and it didn't meet the threshold for a top 8 cut, which would be like the top 8 single elimination bracket, and it ended up being a top 4. But all of the opponents didn't know that. I was at table 3 at the time, so I was, you know, if we had intentionally drawn, I would have been a guaranteed top 8, and then therefore a guaranteed top cut, and then played out top cut. But unfortunately, it wasn't a guaranteed top cut, and they figured it out before like the 5 minutes of the setup happened. So I ended up having to play my round 5 because neither of us were guaranteed to win. So we had to play it out to see who would make it into top 4. And unfortunately, I had to play against Dragapult again, which again, I don't like that matchup. And it was very close. This one was actually super close. They needed to either top deck like a rare candy or a gust effect, so like a boss's order, iron bundle or something. And that is ended up what happening. So they were able to get a 4-turn knockout, or a 4 KO turn at the very end when I was up 4-2. So they ended up winning that very close game. So I got knocked out before that top 4. I ended up getting 7th place though. And for a long time, for some reason, I thought like the top 4 was based, or like the top 4 being the top cut was mean that I didn't get points, but I actually got 25 championship points, which is really cool. I didn't know that at first because I thought like my played Pokemon points, so I thought I got like 6 or something because that's how many locals I've been to, and I was like, oh my god, I got points, and everyone was like, no, that's wrong. But then I looked at it on my desktop literally today just out of curiosity in case I was wrong, and I was wrong. So that was really cool. So that was the cup, and now I actually did interviews where I went to the challenge at Cool Stuff Games, which is normally the local that I go to, so enjoy me talking about the games there. So I'm here with Christopher, my round 1. What do you play?
I play Charizard.
How do you think the match went?
It's pretty fun.
Pokestop! Got the rare candy for game.
Pokestop's pretty good. I
Just,
like it a lot.
just like the regional SMH. Yeah, what? So do you mostly play Charizard? Okay.
I got a majority of my games with him, so I play him through late, just like aggro decks. So Charizard's a little bit more late games. You want to have them take prizes, so
Yeah,
it's not too
he
bad.
just does so much damage.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not necessarily a good matchup versus the other big decks like Dragapult or I don't know if it's super effective against.
The worst
Duraludon,
matchup's the
but-
Regidrago into Charizard.
You think?
Just because of they can get their ability off.
Oh, they just kill everything.
They just kill everything. Right? So it's like, oh,
Same
no.
with Dragapult, right? 'Cause
They
just
kill your
babies.
Charizard, they kill your baby. So it's like, all right, well, you win.
Makes sense. Nice One Piece, man. Thanks for the games.
No problem, bro.
I'm here with my round 2, Vanessa. What did you play?
So I played Terrapagos today. Right there. Yeah.
How do you think the game went?
It was rough for me. Last time the two of us played, I had a really lucky time. So it was.
You got like all the rare candies.
I
and
got
stuff
all
that
the
you
rare
did
candies.
From the Zard.
I was using Zard, yeah.
Yeah.
So today was a total brick for me, and he got them right on start.
I hit 2 on generator for the first time in
Yeah.
at least today. I did it like twice at the cup that I just entered, which I forgot to film all my opponents, and I was like, no, that was the one I did better. I got top 8, but it was a top 4 cut.
I like to see that.
But yeah, I mean, I got the 2 generator, I got the Iron Hands knockout, and then you had to like just draw for anything, and you didn't get your first energy until the turn before you lost, right?
Yeah, I could have used quick search for an energy,
Yeah.
and I took a risk for Iono, and
Because you also could have got rid of the stadium to at least smaller my bench if you wanted to with the Pidgeot.
Yeah.
Or you could have, I guess, swung with the Terrapagos, but
Yeah, it was a little series of misplays. We won't even talk about forgetting to switch the pitch.
oh yeah, of course. The total boss's order I did, totally. Okay, well, GG's, good luck in the rest.
GG's, of course, you could.
Just got done playing my round 3. I lost to Raging Bolt. They went second, and they were able to just go 2-2-2, and I prized some unfortunate things, so I couldn't set up quite the way I wanted to. And they got the Sadas they needed. They got basically everything they needed, and I had to go first. Boo. Because I think I lost. That's my second dice roll I've lost today. I think my first one decided to go first, and that was the Charizard, which I lost to anyway. So let's continue. Just finished my round 4 versus Hayden. What did you play?
I was on Arcaludon.
How do you think the game went?
So I started out really weird because I had 2 Duraludon prize and no heavy ball. So you were able to kill my 1 Duraludon.
Yeah.
But turn 2, I got a really good start. I was able to Fez, Pokestop, so I was able to Thornton out my Duraludon into this.
That was so clutch.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you get the Thornton from the Fez?
I had it in hand. Like, whenever on my second turn, I used Iono to draw 6, and off the Iono I had the Thornton.
Okay.
And then I was able to set up the rest of the play through the Fez.
Gotcha, okay.
And then after I took the 2 prize knockout,
I forgot to V-Star.
Yes, you forgot to V-Star. So you had a really weird start, you weren't able to kill in return. So then I was able to use Pidgeot to search out a Heavy Ball to get my other Duraludon down. So from there I was kind of able to establish my board and just boss around your Bravery Charm.
Yeah. GG's.
GG's.
I am here with Anton. We just played our round 5. What were you playing?
I was playing a Archaludon deck.
I just played against Archaludon, except this game I played much better. Much better.
Yeah, but
how do you think it went?
I was this close. I figured I'm missing a couple cards, missing a couple of things. I didn't get my Dial V Star up and running.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, and I gotta get that going.
Card's broken.
Yeah, I gotta get that going early on. But
I also had
it was
all
very
of
fun.
the
It
gusts.
was very fun. Yeah. I mean, you had the electric generators got you going really early. Bravely Charm was huge because I was gonna knock that Raku out
for
otherwise.
sure.
And I was waiting for my jamming tower, never came around. So
Because jamming tower gets rid of the
abilities of the tools.
Yeah, getting the Luminion so I could attach the Forest Sealstone on it was really important.
Yeah, that
Because
was
otherwise
huge.
it's normally on my Raikou.
That was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. I like that matchup a lot. I think it's scary because if I don't get like a billion gusts, I just lose.
Oh yeah.
But then I think I literally used 2. It was Boss's Orders, Iron Bundle, Boss's Orders.
Yep.
So that'll always do it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
How it goes. But yeah, GG's, man.
GG's, that was fun.
And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what other types of Pokemon TCG content you would like for me to do. I don't know if you guys would want like a beginner's guide or something, but I'm not a super big Pokemon guy. So I don't know if that's the type of content you would want. If you are interested in Pokemon TCG, if not, you can tell me, hey, ESAM, you're bald and stinky. And for some reason, I watched this video all the way to the end to tell you that you're bald and stinky. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. So I didn't get any points from that challenge because I got like 17th place or something. I went 2-3, which isn't good enough to even potentially top. So yeah, I mean, lots of stuff to learn. I didn't play super great that tournament. I messed up a lot of little things, sequences, and I would like, get multiple ideas mixed up in my head. So yeah, that's going to be about that.